As a Notion ambassador for 1.5 years and lead of the Notion Singapore community, I've spoken to many community members, and these are the 5 questions that I always get asked. And if I got $1 for every time I was asked any of these questions, I would be pretty rich. But never mind. First question. How did you become a Notion ambassador? Very briefly, I found out about Notion around Q4 2019. I taught myself Notion through Marie Poulin's videos, and then I learned that Tiago was coming to Singapore for a Notion event. I reached out to Notion and asked if they needed help with the event. Long story short, I was asked if I knew about the Notion Ambassador community, and I applied for it and I got it. This was before the current Notion Ambassador program, where there's a longer list of criteria. When I applied to be a Notion Ambassador, the program was called a Notion Pro. Question 2. Oh, you mean you unpaid by Notion? So this is really funny. Like some people ask me, oh, are you being employed by Notion? Are you a Notion staff? Or does it mean you have a job? Because at that time I was unemployed. And I'm like, no, guys. Ambassador means that you are a volunteer and that you're not paid. I think why people get confused is because a lot of Notion ambassadors are able to speak about Notion and articulate it fairly well, that people think that we are paid by the company. I think that speaks to the type of people that are in the ambassador program. I'm not saying they're really very good. I'm just saying that the people that I've met are amazing. So I did a bit of Singlish here. The third question is, Notion is very hard leh. Where should I start? Well, I wish there was like a magic wand that we could wave and then you would understand Notion. But the truth of the matter is that because of its flexibility, it is hard. Typically, I tell people to start with the Notion help page. And now there's Notion guides and a lot of tutorials, like Notion branded tutorials that are great. Last time there wasn't as much. I do find that following ambassadors who post resources are really useful, and I do have a Twitter list of ambassadors. I'm trying to update it, but it contains at least 3/4 of the ambassadors tweet on Twitter. This helps me keep up to date with the latest things that are happening from Notion and how to use it, because the tool is continuously evolving. Sometimes I struggle to keep up with the new features that are coming out, and even if there's a new feature, like how do we best use it? So that's how I keep up to date. All right. 4th question. Should I buy this Notion course, that Notion template? I really feel like telling people, like, it's your money. Like, oh my god, I don't want to feel responsible for you spending your money. And honestly, what I think is good might not be what you think is good, So it's like I give you something to eat and you think it's very sour, but I think it's very sweet. So it's kind of hard. Also, by not going through every single course in the market or every single template in the market, I don't really feel very qualified to recommend. What I can recommend or not recommend are things that I've personally used. For example, I'm in Marie Poulin's Notion Mastery course, and I think it's fantastic. I do recommend it to people. I have also taken August Bradley's Pillars, Pipelines, Vaults course. I think he calls it the Notion Operating System course. That's been pretty helpful, so I recommend that as well. In terms of templates, I usually use things that I've created myself, if that makes sense. I don't generally download and use templates, so I can't speak to like an excellent template to use. But that's probably because I'm more used to creating what I want in the software. And the 5th question, how has the PPV system been working out for you? Oh my gosh, this is a really long answer. All right, okay, let's go. Okay, I started using the PPV system last year. I can't remember exactly when. I think shortly after August started releasing his videos on YouTube. I used it for 6 months with pretty great success. I spoke really highly of it. I've given talks on it. I posted on LinkedIn that doing it really helped me achieve a lot of projects because it's a new Notion framework and it is still evolving. As I've used it, I've bumped up against constraints of the framework, and therefore I have had to iterate on it. Because I'm also in Marie's Notion Mastery course, I have integrated certain aspects of Marie's ideas and the way she structures her system. Right now, my PPV setup is a blend of both PPV as well as Marie's setup. That being said, it is continuously evolving. Ideologically, My alignment is very PPV still. That's the short answer. I have been asked if there is a PPV template. In order to get the PPV template, you need to be a student of August Bradley's Notion Live Operating System course. So there you go. So that's it. I hope you find that interesting. If you have any questions and words of encouragement, leave them in the comments below. I've been doing a few Notion videos lately because I've had some of these videos from last time and I thought I'd re-edit and upload them. I would like to get back in creating content around couples, which is what I wanted part of this channel to be about. So if you have any questions, any ideas, let me know too.